Hello there, thanks for joining Yin Yoga. Tonight we'll be using maybe some blocks or rolled up towels, maybe a chair. We'll just give you various options. So if you've got those handy, we've got either a rolled up towel or a couple of blocks or even a rolled up mat. And you don't need these, it's just to give you different options to show you how versatile Yin can be for different sensations. So hello there David and Roger and Helen, thank you for joining. So we're going to start in supported bridge. So we've got a couple of options. We want the rolled up, whatever it is, on to our backs, our lower backs are resting. So some people, it might be enough to have 2 blocks or 3 blocks or towels. It's quite intense opening in the hips the higher you go up. So I'm going to start and then build up gradually. So even if you just start with 1 block or 1 rolled up towel, it's still a nice stretch for the hip flexors and our backs, opening our chest. So we've got our sacrum or our tailbone resting on our block or cushion, whatever you've got, and our shoulders are on the floor and our head's on the floor with our chin towards our chest. So we're going to do 3 different feet positions. We're going to do, first of all, constructive rest. So that's our knees together and the feet apart. So we're going to hold for about 1.5 minutes on each one. We're just focusing on trying to stay in tune with our breath. So if you wanted to, you could start on the lowest block or you can start on your highest level, it's up to you. You just want to focus on sensations that are occurring in the body and focus on our breathing as much as possible. If we've had a busy day or maybe a stressful day, it might be hard to transition from the day into just noticing. So if you can, close your eyes, helps you to go deeper within. So we're going to move now to just the normal bridge feet, which is feet about hip width apart and knees apart. If you want to, you could lift up again for another level of the supported bridge. It's up to you though. Try and keep your chin towards your chest. Still focusing on your breathing. Maybe focusing on resting that lower back. Feel the support of your block or towel. And then one more level if you like. sure the block or whatever you're resting on isn't pressing into the back. This time the soles of the feet are together and the knees are out, so this is butterfly legs. If that doesn't feel comfortable, go back to constructive rest. It's just noticing the sensations where we place the feet differently. There'll be different sensations. And obviously with the blocks higher, that will change as well. So about another 30 seconds or so in this supported bridge. Slowly, so we went up gradually with the levels, so just removing a block for support and resting a little bit, and then again resting down. Okay, so the back might feel a little bit fragile, so we want to move just slowly, whichever way feels good. We can hug the knees into the chest, or we can hug one knee in and extend the opposite leg. And drawing the knees in, lifting the forehead to the knees, curling up. Then we can either take our knees down to one side, or we can use our tummy, draw our tummy in to roll up to seated. Okay, so from here we're going to do deer, which is a stretch for the hips and a stretch for the quads. So from seated, we're drawing our left shin so it's in line with the front of the mat, and we're drawing our right knee back. So we want to try not to lean over to our left. We want to be over the centre, and if you notice that you are leaning over to the left a bit, you can bring your bottom, your left glute onto a block. It's up to you. You want to be sitting up as tall as possible to come forward. So it's up to you if you notice that you need a block. And we're just coming forward first of all. Resting down on our elbows and kind of draping our chest over our left thigh. We can rest our head down on our hands. Again, try not to lean too much over to your left. Try and draw your torso a little bit over to the right. Okay, so there's an option to stay in deer or come into swan. So all swan is that right leg stretches back, turning our right toes under to draw the right leg back as much as possible. And then proud swan is pressing the hands into the floor, chest forward, or sleeping swan coming onto our elbows. So it's up to you if you want to stay in deer. The main thing we want to make sure is safe is our left knee, because it's putting quite a lot of pressure on the left knee. Also, try not to lean over to your left still, try to draw the body over to the right. If the left hip's off the floor quite a lot, you can bring a block or a cushion underneath your left glute. So if you want to have some back extension, if you need to strengthen your lower back, the proud swan is really good. That's another 3 breaths here. And coming out of deer or swan slowly. So stretching our left leg back. So that left leg's been bent quite a while, so just stepping the left toes back, maybe stretching out that left leg, stretching out the right leg. Or if we like, we can lift up into a gentle down dog, lifting the knees off the floor, even walking the dog, stretch for our calves. Okay, bringing the knees back down. Now we go to do the other side. So sitting on our bottom first of all, and then our right shin is in towards the front of the mat, and our left knee is back. So again, try not to lean over to your right now. Try to draw your body so it's more over to the left. If you like, bring a block underneath your right glute. So it can be on your elbows or you can be lifting up. It's up to you. You can rest your head down on your hands. Noticing now where you feel these sensations that are happening. You should be feeling it really in the target area, which is the right hip, right glute, right piriformis, maybe a bit in the left hip. now you have the option coming into Swan. So Swan is turning our left toes under, stretching the left leg back. The right foot now might come under the left thigh a bit, that's fine. We don't want that right hip to be up too much, so if it is, just bring that block to rest just underneath your right glute or your right hamstring. So we can go to the proud swan, which is chest forward and hands pressing into the floor just in slightly front of us, or sleeping swan. Bring the elbows down, or we rest the head on the hands. Try to make sure there's no pain in the right knee. Target area where you might be noticing tension or a stretch is our right glute, right hip, right hamstring, left quad or hip flexor a little bit as well. Got 3 more breaths. And then coming out slowly from swan or deer. First of all, coming to tabletop. And then with that right leg bent for a while, just stretching out the back of the right leg and the left. If you want a deeper stretch, lifting up into down dog. And bring the knees down slowly. And we're going to try hero pose, so we might need some rolled up towels or blankets. So what we do here, we're keeping the knees together but the feet are apart. We're trying to kind of create a bowl with our feet, and we're oscillating our bottom side to side to bring the bottom to the floor. So some of you might need a few more blocks for a bit of help. So you can place blocks or rolled up towels between our feet to rest the bottom on. But we're trying to keep the knees together and the tops of our toes are resting on the floor and the tops of our feet are resting on the floor. And we're just pressing our toes down into the floor if you can. So we're just kind of leaning back. Okay, and then we do this every day for a week. You might be able to, say for 2 minutes, you might be able to actually get the bottom to the floor. I used to, when I first started yoga, I used to be on about 4 blocks like that. I think I can go down to 1 block just about. So this is hero. It's a stretch for our quads. It's great for digestion as well, so it's good to do maybe after a heavy meal. It's also obviously stretching our hamstrings, or we're massaging our hamstrings with our calves, and it's also obviously massaging our calves. Stretching out the shins, if you have any problems with your shins, stretching out the top of the feet. So we're going to stay here for about 2 minutes. What we don't want to do is feel, again, any pain in the knees. So if there's pain in the knees, you can use a rolled up blanket or towel. But that's quite a bit more intense on the hamstrings and the calves. So it's quite nice, good for the knees, but maybe a bit more painful, more tension, more massage. You could even, if you wanted, get a tennis ball and place that between the calf and the hamstring. It might be quite painful, so we won't do that today, I don't think. So we're going to stay in hero for about 2 minutes. I'll also give you some options to stretch out the shoulders and the arms. So whichever way feels comfortable in this sitting bowl. Again, you can keep oscillating the bottom side to side. Okay, so we're going to do eagle arms. So if we stretch up both hands, then cross your right elbow over your left as much as you can, and then seeing if we can bring the palms together, lift up the elbows and take the hands away. So we'll hold here for about 3 long slow breaths. And unclasp the fingers and stretch the hands away, loosen, and then take the hands behind. Try and straighten your arms, draw your hands down to the floor and lift the chest forward. 3 breaths here. And release. And then arms up again for cow face the other side, so no, eagle arms the other side. So left elbow over right as much as you can, and then we're trying to bring the palms together, lifting the elbows up and the hands away, looking up towards the thumbs, which is apparently the eagle's beak. 3 breaths. And release, shake off, stretch the hands behind, straighten the arms as much as you can, drawing the fingertips down, chest forward. 3 breaths. And release. So now trying to draw your left fingertips up your back as much as you can. Stretch the right hand up and then take the right hand back. Right elbow goes up towards the ceiling. Drawing the right tricep back and see if you can reach both fingers to touch each other. And just looking forward, 3 breaths. And loosen, stretch out, interlock the fingers again. Try to now lift the arms away, keeping the arms as straight as possible, chest forward, about 3 breaths. And last, cow face, so right arm tries to reach up, might be a bit more tight in the right shoulder, so stretching up the right fingertips towards the shoulders, stretch up your left hand as tall as you can, and then see if we can draw both fingertips together. Try to take your left elbow up towards the ceiling and the left tricep back. And take apart, shake out, and lift up slowly, removing the block if you had a block, or bringing the hands forward. So come up slowly because those knees have been compressed for a while, and then either one leg extends back at a time. Might be feeling fragile. You want to be a bit more energetic, come into a down dog. Maybe walking the dog to stretch out the calves, hamstrings, ankles. Okay, and slowly come down and rest back the bottom onto the heels. Gentle child pose. You can bring the hands forward, rest the head on the hands, or rest the tops of the hands with the palms facing up by the feet, and rest your head maybe on a block or the mat. And take a few deep breaths, noticing any sensations. And lift up slowly. Okay, so next we're going to do dragon. There is an option to place a foot on a support. So we notice different sensations with the foot in a different position. So either have a block or a rolled up mat or towel, it's up to you. So the front foot is going to go on whatever you're using. So it just creates a bit more tension in the hip with the foot being a little bit higher. You could always also use a bench or a chair, but the chair would need to be, or a stool would need to be quite low. So I'm just going to use my rolled up mat, but I'll show you on a roll up towel as well. Like so. So we're going to start first of all with the hands resting either side of the right foot or the hands resting on the right thigh. So what we're trying to do is draw our chest forward and our shoulders back, and create a little bit of back extension. So back strengthening will help maybe to lower our hips to the floor, get a deeper stretch in our left hip flexors. Might feel quite intense in the right hips. So breathe into those sensations in the hip area. We're going to come into winged dragon. So we don't need the block. So here We're bringing both hands inside the right foot. We're turning the right toes out and the right knee out to the side. And the right thigh is now the dragon's wing, so winged dragon. And we're trying to rotate our chest towards the right hand side. Come onto the outer edge of the right foot if that feels okay. Just make sure there's no pain in the right knee. If you need some cushioning for your left knee, you can place a block or a towel under that. You can bring your left elbow down to the floor if you like. Just make sure you're not compressing in your neck. You can bring your right hand to your lower back, which might help you to draw your chest up to the right a bit more. About 3 more breaths in Winged Dragon. Slowly drawing the right foot back, and the final version of the dragon is for the calf, so overstepping dragon. So here we draw our right foot back as much as we can, and kind of just draping our chest over the right thigh, trying to keep the right heel on the floor. So only taking that right foot back as much as you can without lifting the right heel off the floor. And again, we can press into the right calf, pressing into the maybe the tender points, holding pressure points. Slowly lifting back out of dragon, drawing the right leg back, one at a time, stepping the foot back before we go to the left foot forward for dragons again. So see about placing your foot, if you want to elevate the foot a bit on blocks or rolled up mat or towels. It's up to you though, the foot can just stay on the floor, so just creates a bit more intensity, deeper stretch for the right hip flexors. So hands can be either side of the foot. If you want to, you can extend the right leg back a bit more by turning the right toes under. If you want to, we can lift the hands onto the left thigh, or we can rest our elbows on our left thigh. It's up to you. going to go into our winged dragon. So, toes out to the left, left knee out to the side. We can come onto the outer edge of the left foot. We can come onto our elbows and we can gently ease our left knee away, drawing our chest up to the left. We can bring our left hand onto the lower back. We can keep just pressing into the right hand, whichever feels the best for you. Slowly bring our left hand down, and final version of dragon, the overstepping dragon. So, drawing our left foot back, just so we can keep our left heel down as much as possible. Maybe stretching back the right knee and draping our chest over our left thigh. Keep working the left heel back. Again, we can use the thumbs to get the tender spots and press in, maybe for a few deep breaths. Any extra tender spots. About 3 more breaths. And lifting up slowly out of dragon, left knee back. So from here I can open the back of the legs, maybe lift up to a down dog or walk the dog. And resting back down. So from here we're coming into cat pulling tail for a stretch for our quads and our hip flexors, bit of strengthening for the lower back. So we're lying on our right side, we're drawing our left knee forward and then we're reaching behind with our left hand to take hold of our right ankle. So we're bending up our right leg and drawing the right foot back as much as we can to feel that stretch in the right quad. About 6 more breaths, noticing sensations in the right quad, the quad muscle or the right hip flexor, top of the thigh, releasing out slowly to change sides. So lying on our left side, bringing our right knee forward, so the right knee is resting on the floor, and reaching behind for the left ankle with the right hand, drawing that left knee back as far as you can. Six more breaths. Lifting up again slowly. So just coming to seated. Do some windshield wipers. So feet apart, knees apart, hands out at the side. Just taking the knees down to one side, knees to the other side. Okay, so now we're going to come into butterfly. So you've got an option of seated butterfly or reclining butterfly. I thought we'd do butterfly towards the end of the class tonight. We normally do it at the beginning of a class, so just to see if it's made a difference, if the butterfly feels a bit more comfortable. I'll do seated. If you're doing reclining butterfly, it's quite nice to have a rolled up mat or towel. So this time, instead of resting your lower back on the block or towel, your back's there, so your bottom's on the mat, not resting the lower back or the bottom on the block. And then we're leaning back, so the head's resting as well on your support, and we're doing the butterfly knees with the feet together and the knees out, so, and hands out to the side. So this is wonderful for opening the chest, releasing the shoulders. You can choose that one if you like, or seated butterfly. Just going to sit on a block, and with the seated butterfly we can do zipper toes. So if you haven't got any socks on, or you've got special socks like me, the Injinji socks that I like to wear, we can either thread the toes through one another, which is nearly impossible, or we can thread our fingers through the toes while we're sitting in butterfly. So we can rest our elbows on our shins, pushing the knees apart slightly. We can have a rounded back, can let the head flop down, or we can look slightly forward, it's up to you. So we're going to stay about 2 or 3 minutes. So we want to really now try and focus on slowing our breathing down, really lengthening our breath. So making your inhale as deep as you can, all the way to the top of the inhale, and maybe just noticing if there's a pause before you really try to draw your out breath out as much as you can as well. Lifting up slowly. If you're in reclining butterfly, stay there and do reclining windshield wipers. If you're in seated butterfly, just do some seated windshield wipers, feet apart, knees side to side, working on our internal and external rotation of the hips. We'll get ready for final relaxation. So you can either just do some reclining dynamic twists, knees together and feet together, and knees slowly side to side. You can hold for a few breaths each side. out both legs. And bringing the knees into the chest. So for final relaxation, only about 5 minutes. Make sure you're warming off. Put some extra layers on if you need to. So we're going to practice body sensing in our final relaxation. So if you settle down, so when we're doing yin yoga, we do, the idea is that we do a lot of body sensing. So we're noticing sensations in the body, basically. So that's what we're going to do in our final relaxation. So lying down and making yourself comfortable. And with your eyes open or closed, welcome the environment and the sounds around you. So first of all, noticing sounds. Now noticing sensations of warmth or coolness on your skin. And the sensations where your body touches the surface that's supporting it. Moving on to practicing body sensing. Welcome sensations that are present throughout your body. Starting in your jaw, mouth, ears. The sensation of the breath as it enters through your nose on your breath in, and out through your nose on your breath out. The sensation of you breathing. Now bring awareness to your left shoulder, left arm, left palm and fingers, right shoulder, right arm, right palm and fingers. Now noticing both hands and fingers. Maybe noticing the energy in the palms or the fingers. Now sense the entire torso, the front of the torso, the back of the torso, sense the whole of the body, the front of the body, the back of the body. Now sense your whole body as it breathes, the gentle expanding and releasing of the chest and the tummy with each inhalation and exhalation. Sense your tummy expanding with each inhalation, tummy releasing with each exhalation. With each breath, affirm to yourself, I am aware and at ease. I am aware and at ease. remain with this feeling of deep release with each exhalation, aware, feeling ease and well-being throughout the entire body. Affirming to yourself, I am aware, I am resting, and breathing softly and deeply for about 6 more breaths, just noticing the body expanding on the inhale, body releasing on the exhale. Now taking awareness from outside the body to the room, bringing gentle movement to the body, whichever way feels comfortable. Wriggle the fingers, wriggle the toes, rotate the ankles, rotate the wrists. And when you're ready, you stretch out both legs and bring the feet together. And with a deep breath in, stretch the arms all the way above the head. Point the fingers, point the toes. Breathe out, bring the arms down. If you like, you can draw the knees into the chest. Take the knees side to side as well if you like. Curl up into a small ball maybe, bring the knees to the head or the head to the knees. Then we can draw the knees down to the side or draw the tummy in, roll up to seated. And say thank you to yourself for giving yourself an hour of nice relaxation, nice stretches. Okay, see you soon. Thanks everyone. Thanks David and Roger and Helen and Amanda and Jane. Thank you. Bye.